The last time we went racing in ATV motocross, the venerable sands of Spring Creek in Millville, Minnesota played host to great racing as Chad Wienen stole the lead early and pulled away in Moto 1. But the battle for second was fast and furious, and from out of the top 5, Joel Hetrick was able to push his Can-Am into the runner-up spot. Behind Hetrick, fellow Can-Am rider Jeff Rastrelli put in a strong charge. But after Wienen took the Moto win, Rastrelli would return in Moto 2 even better. Guest rider David Hogsma would be your surprise early leader, but then Rastrelli was able to take the number 1 spot and work on his first ever career Moto win until this, a crash while battling Thomas Brown for the lead. Brown would go on to take the Moto win, but the consistency of Wienen gave him the win. Now one step closer to a title. Welcome to Racer TV. Yes, we're going racing. It's the NYCM Insurance Northeastern ATV National here at Unadilla. This is the legend. Started racing here in the late 1960s, which makes it one of the oldest motocross tracks in the country. And the Hill people have come out to see the ATV riders do some battle and apparently sample some Mountain Dew as well. And speaking of old school, speaking of original, we had a 3-wheeler race actually as part of the action. 12 different riders came out here to do battle. And then the pros signed some autographs. The fans got to check out their machines. And we got all fired up on what should be a great day of racing on a track that lends itself to ATVs. It's fast, it's flowing, it's wide, and we've got some huge jumps too. And for riders like Josh Kramer, who hail from this side of the country, going to have a lot of people cheering them on. And there's Thomas Brown's machine. Thomas just getting ready for racing. We talked to him earlier.
Left last round of Millville at going 5-1 for a 3rd overall. I was super pumped to get that second Moto win in there, and wish we could have got a little bit better first Moto, but we came from the back and worked our way up. This Unadilla track has not always been the best to me. I've always had a little bit of bad luck here and never seemed to get the results I want. Plan to train that this year, hopefully get back up in that box and be great to take a win. Just going to play it out and see how it goes. Every year we've gotten better here, but I want to get up on that podium for sure.
All right, let's check in with the Live Wire Can-Am team and Joel Hetrick.
Coming off my second place last round, I'm feeling confident and ready for this weekend. Track looks pretty good. We're ready to go. I mean, I've been really consistent so far this season. I had my first pro win here actually in my rookie year, so it's a good track for me. I'm used to it. It's high speed, and I think I can put it on the top spot.
Ah, yes, but to get to the top spot, you must beat the man at the top, Chad Wienen.
All right, here round 7, Unadilla MX. I mean, this track's been here for so many years, and we've been coming here, and I've had actually really good luck here. I've won here the last 2 years coming here. Past 2 years, I guess I'd say. I've been here many more than that, but just looking forward to coming off of Millville. Had an awesome round, went 1-2 for the overall, and extended the points lead. And we're coming into Unadilla. We're rounding out the season, and good starts are so key here. The track is fast. They got some big jumps here. I mean, the jumps are fun to hit, and I mean, just the quickness of the track is one of the things that kind of just makes you just make sure that you're not making any mistakes out there and riding clean laps. And we're gonna give everything we got this weekend, and hopefully come away in a good spot and get up on that podium just like we've been doing all year long. And they usually have a big fan crowd here this weekend, so hopefully with the nice weather coming in, we're going to attract a lot of people here and put on a good show.
Boom, that's it. Now a quick riders meeting, and we'll be ready for qualifying. And we'll have all the action from that when we return to Racer TV. Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, by Can-Am, and by AMSOIL. Time to let them loose. It's the Can-Am qualifiers from this, the NYCM Insurance Northeastern ATV National here at the venerable Unadilla Valley Sports Center in upstate New York. I'm Jason Wygant to give you the call, and these are the fastest four-wheeled pilots in the world. It's practice, but for them it's really qualifying because we'll keep track of all the lap times and tell you who's the fastest in both sessions. And since we've been racing here for the last few years, most of the riders have a pretty good setup and a pretty good feel for things as soon as they roll them off the truck, so there's not much holding back. Look at the air time in this track. See Josh Kramer on the 9 airing it out. There's the venerable John Natale. Jeff Rastrelli trying to follow up on his superb ride and great speed last time out at Millville. Little leg swag there. I'm telling you, when you watch these jumps and these wide open corners, it's hard to believe that they were racing at Unadilla for a good 30-so years before they had an ATV motocross event. This track is perfect for the four-wheelers. Nice little seat bounce from Chad Wienen. There's the sky shot being aired out by Hetrick. There's big jumps everywhere. Sean Taylor putting it down on the number 39. Little whip action. See, they put up bleachers next to the sky shot so the fans can watch this stuff, and it's just qualifying. And there's Gravity Cavity, probably the most famous jump of all on this track. Josh Upperman fastest in the first qualifying session, and then a qualifier at number 2. Joel Hetrick able to put it down. Now, don't be alarmed that Chad Wienen was not the fastest in either. He has really learned the consistency game the last couple of years. He doesn't always have to rule it in qualifying and be on it in the motos. And we'll have the racing in a moment, but first, the Mountain Dew moment.
All right, hi, I'm Dean Manchak, and welcome to the Mountain Dew moment. Today we're going to point out one of the biggest upcoming riders here. He's in the A class, number 940, Dylan Tremillion. Dylan, we're out here on a looks to be a pretty rough track. What did you have to do today to get yourself mentally prepared to go out there?
Just try and watch Pro-Am class, see different lines, see what lines they were taking. Fortunately, they came out and worked the track a little bit, so it's going to be a little different, but we'll go out and after the first lap and see where all the fast lines are and try and stay in them for the whole race.
Perfect, Dylan. He brought up a good point. It's very important to watch those faster classes so you guys can get a good idea of which are the best and the fastest lines, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're the faster than me, obviously, and the best of the best for today, especially for Pro-Am class. So, I mean, just follow their line, see where all the fast guys are going, and try and copy them and repeat that.
All right, Dylan, good luck out there, and get her done, buddy. All right, we'll see you next time on the Mountain Dew Moment.
Thanks, D. And this is where Dylan Tremillion and all the up-and-coming stars want to be soon. On the starting gate for the Pro Class, we'll be racing when we return. Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, by Can-Am, and by Amsoil. We're going to rock and roll here. It's a Mountain Dew ATV Motocross National at Unadilla. The best riders are getting mentally prepared. There's Jeff Rastrelli on the 728, Joel Hetrick, these two young kids trying to rip some momentum away in this series from the veterans. We'll have the camera on Rastrelli, and let's go racing. Looks like Natale going to lead everyone into the first turn. So the lucky number 13 has got it. Rastrelli right there, though. He has upped his game the last couple of weeks, and now he wants to go to the front. Obviously, he likes the feeling of leading motos in this championship. SSI Decals Whole Shot Award for Natale, who's on that motorsport.com RRRDWT Walsh Racecraft product. But watch out for the JB Racing Can-Am backed by Cheerwine. Rastrelli is right there. And it's Creamer, a rare good start on his BCS Racing Can-Am. In third, we have not seen Creamer up front very often the last 2 years early, but if that number 9 can go, he's in a great position to make things happen right now. But they're all going to have to deal with Natale, who is one of the most determined and the strongest, fittest riders out here. He's won this title plenty of times. Working their way back across the back section of this track. Now to the sky shot, which brings us back to the front. Fans are cheering. They put this little kink in the course a few years ago to slow it down, and now they're headed to the elevator shaft. Big uphill climb. And they'll jump back into view here on the start stretch. Wow, and you can hear it. They are absolutely tapped through this section. This is the famous gravity cavity as the riders go all the way to the side of the track to try to find any sort of backside to land on. No change in the order right now. I'm impressed, though, with Rastrelli. This young kid has got a pair of former series champs surrounding him, and he's holding his own, and in fact now going to the inside. It always just takes one little bit of confidence to get a rider going, and Rastrelli leading a bunch of laps the last time out at Millville apparently had it. In the back section of the course, see the soil starting to rough up and whoop out back here. And then here comes a sky shot. It can be a real lesson here for Rastrelli, who dive bombs to the inside, and he can't get the double. Let's see now if Kramer in third is able to get him back. And what Rastrelli is learning, John Natale is one of the hardest riders ever to pass on an ATV. He's got eyes in the back of his head. He's been doing this for so long. He has great instincts. Been a good dozen years or so that he has been a championship caliber rider. So Rastrelli has taken 2 or 3 good looks to get him. Uh-oh, Chad Wienen has now gotten around Kramer. He is up to third. So if Rastrelli and Natale don't up the pace, either one of them can end up bumped out of the number 1 spot, where before it was somewhat of a private duel. Got to be clean over these doubles. And so far, so good. Natale and Rastrelli still running the point. But here comes the Wienen Motorsports machine. Just inching up every shot we see. A little bit closer. And I'll tell you, as the moto goes on and the track gets rougher, it just falls further and further into the big man's hands. Oh, well, what has happened to Natale? Looking at the stance of that machine, I'm thinking rear suspension issues. Meanwhile, no questions asked. Rastrelli has finally got that lead he wanted, but just in the nick of time, here comes Chad Wienen to make his life miserable. And a look over the shoulder for Rastrelli. We hear it is a broken shock for Natale. And look at Wienen right up on the grab bar of Rastrelli, the young kid out of Florida. And he's down to the inside. Different jump combos here. Nice job by the kid to hold the champ at bay. Now, whoa, I don't know how they did that, switched up the lines. Can Wienen get the double? He doesn't need it. He took enough speed away from Rastrelli, so he couldn't do it either. Chad Wienen into the lead. And there's Natale. Is he attempting to get back on the track? Maybe to score just a few points. Rastrelli's got to put the head down. He is getting pelted with roost and rocks from Wienen. But look at this. Keeping him honest. And sometimes it's easier to follow than lead. I don't feel like over the last few years we've had riders subscribe to that theory. They just like to get good starts and try to run. But I have no doubts Rastrelli learned something from this lap or so that he was behind Wienen. And look at the gap he's got over everyone else. Looking for a season's best finish with second. Third is Thomas Brown, but I think that good strong charge early by Rastrelli might be enough to put him up there. Wienen has gotten away, but here's the kid. Uh-oh. Brown is starting to close in. And you know, fitness will be a factor here, but time has run out. Chad Wienen wins the first moto. Rastrelli is going to hold on for second. Best finish ever for that young man. Great racing. We'll be right back from Unadilla with Moto number 2. Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, by Can-Am, and by Amsoil. Prepping the starting line area for Moto number 2, Chad Wienen, yet another Moto win, and continues to close in on a championship here in the Mountain Dew ATV National Motocross Championship. Jeff Rastrelli, career best second in Moto 1, will run the helmet cam in Moto 2. We'll see how he does. Oh, they're bumping and banging around big time. I think Kramer's got it. And we've also got the onboard with Josh Upperman on the number 20. And Kramer, we hear, was struck down by a flat tire in Moto 1. So nice little comeback here. And we have a rematch for that first Moto duel as you see Rastrelli and Wienen battling it out here on the opening lap. It's a new jump that was added last year to this track as they go downhill. Here's Kramer out of Connecticut. Wienen and Rastrelli, Upperman right behind him. It's Kramer's opportunity. Makes up for the bad first Moto result with the tire problem and is back out here taking no prisoners. Sky shot. Kramer takes a look over. He sees Wienen and Rastrelli in hot pursuit. And I see another Yamaha. That must be Brown right there. Brown. Oh, they obviously studied some game tape before this one. Same move that Wienen pulled on Rastrelli in Moto 1. Wienen's teammate pulls in Moto 2. So the Yamahas are second and third. Boy, they've been good this year. Then you have Natali back from that shock problem in Moto 1. Moving up. I wonder how you can have a shock problem. Look at how hard these guys land from some of these big jumps here. Kramer continues to work. Good job maintaining just a little gap over Wienen. He does not exactly have the number 1 all over him, but I will say that Wienen the last few years has really become great at managing championships and not riding over his head if he doesn't need to in Moto number 2. But he's still a racer and he'd still like to win every time he's out on the track. Is Kramer set to deliver in front of his local fans? We're going to find out here on Racer TV. Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, by Can-Am, and by Amsoil. Big battle for the lead here at Unadilla. Josh Kramer on the BCS Can-Am grabbed the whole shot and has not been headed, but Chad Wienen has been stalking him the whole time. But Wienen, a master of these second motos, he has gotten several first moto wins here and then just rode his race in Moto 2. If he can get the lead, he'll take it, but he does not want to throw away a championship just for one moto win. A couple of years ago, Wienen had a broken back while leading this championship series. Ever since he has come back, he's been fast, but also very smart. Now, he's using a smart line to go to the inside, and just like that, I'm telling you, if you want it on that inside, it is not easy to get these things slowed and stopped, turned into that corner. But if you commit and come in hot and aggressive, you can make that pass, and that's what Wienen has done to take the lead in both motos. And Kramer might have to deal with some pressure from Thomas Brown. Here's Brown. Oh yeah, you know he'd like this number 2 spot as they dance over this rough stuff. Kramer trying to ride a wide machine. Here's the corner where all the passing has happened. Duck to the inside. And they worked him again. And I know what you're thinking. You're watching this with the white flag out and saying, why would you go outside there? Again, it's so difficult to make that inside line work. That is full commitment. That's really no different than hucking an extra large jump to try to get that machine into that corner and out as quickly as they do. It'd be hard to do it right every lap. But when you're really going for it to make a pass, that's where it pays off. That's what Wienen and Brown did. And once again, the Wienen Motorsports Yamaha boys, there are no answers for them. So Wienen going toward a 1-1 and that much closer to a championship with another victory. And his teammate Thomas Brown right there as well. Look at that, Rastrelli up to third. He went 2-5 in the overall. Gets to go up on the podium and join the Yamaha boys.
It was a great first moto. Ended up passing Jeffrey on about 4 or 5 laps to go and taking the win the first moto. Second moto came out with a good start. We had Creamer and I battling for the start, and he ended up getting it about a little bit past the halfway point. I started reeling him in good, and just made a move on him. And same place I made most of my passes all day today, and just had this line dialed and just shut him off, and was able to cruise onto the win the second moto. And awesome day, 1-1, and did this one for my good friend Ryan Cox. It's his birthday today. I told him I'll get a 1-1 for him, and happy birthday, bud.
Here at Unadilla, we went 3-2 for second overall. Man, I'm pumped on the weekend. Unadilla is definitely not my place ever been, and every year we seem to get a little bit better, you know. And this year we were able to pull it out, man. I'm pumped on the weekend. It was a good moto. The Win Motorsports, SI Decal, Walsh Racecraft, Maxxis Yamaha, man, just killing it out there. We're just doing awesome. The guys that fly, keep us fresh, man. Everybody's just doing good. The team's pulling together. I can't thank them enough. You know, we had a rough start, and every race we seem to get a little better. I'm looking forward to Red Bud and then Loretta's. See what we can do there. Woo!
Just got off the podium, first time ever. Got second to first moto. Was actually leading for a little bit, battling with John Unadilla. He had a blown out shock, and then I was battling with Chad. He ended up getting around me and finished second that moto, and came out the second moto. Almost got the start. Creamer pushed me out. Chad got around me right away, and then so did Thomas, and tried to put a charge on and keep Thomas in my sights, and then Upperman caught me and ended up getting around me, which is unfortunate. I was pretty upset about, but overall it was a great day. Can't be happier. First podium ever. I'm stoked.
Okay, that's their recap. Here's ours, brought to you by Amsoil. John Unadilla, a good start in Moto 1. Jeff Rastrelli all over him. Unadilla was looking good, holding off Rastrelli and Josh Creamer. Then Creamer had a flat tire, sent him back. Chad Wienen moves up to third, and then the shock breaks for Unadilla. So Rastrelli getting the lead a bit, but late in the moto, a nice line in the inside, and Wienen was able to take the lead and the victory. Moto number 2, little revenge for Creamer with this hole shot. But only so much you can do when you got the big man from Galena, Illinois behind you. That's Wienen. He wanted it. And he found it on the inside, makes the pass, takes the lead. His teammate, Thomas Brown, would follow him across in second. Another 1-2 for the Yamaha boys, and they celebrate on the podium. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.